Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Beer with the Boss. Today, we'll discuss the transformative role of AI in DevOps and highlight how you can expect from adopting these practices or what you can expect from adopting these practices. So grab a cold one and join us. I'm Rodrigo Matos and I work at Webera.
And I'm Joe Zamboni. I'm founder and co-host of the show, and we are here to share our thoughts from front lines and have a beer with you. Cheers for another episode with Beer with the Boss. So what are you drinking today, Rodrigo?
So I'm drinking, I was inspired by you on your last episode. They were drinking what you said that was like nearly a beer. So today I'm drinking something that is nearly a beer as well. It's a Corona. How about you?
Oh my God, the Corona. Yeah, I'm back to the Poloners. So yeah, I'm drinking a half Weizen. So I don't know German, but it's probably half wise beer, so yeah. I don't know. Probably it's that. Yeah, it's a good beer. I like it, and I still have a box of beers like that from Costco. Every time my wife goes there, she got it's a bunch of different beers. Like, yeah, but I have 3 boxes already, so help me out. So today we're talking about DevOps, right? Or best way to say, like, this is more a business perspective on DevOps, not exactly for DevOps guys. So sorry, we are trying to help out our bosses here. So what to expect from those DevOps guys and what we can do better and what we will not do better with DevOps. Or anyway, so that's the idea, right, Rodrigo?
That's the idea for us to talk about DevOps, talk about AI, but try and bring this to a business perspective as well. So non-technical people can also understand what we're talking about. So I want to talk to you, Joe, as a business owner, as a founder, as a CEO. How do you see a business benefiting from AI into their DevOps practices?
So the main thing that everyone expects is that AI replace the team, right? Which will not happen. Fortunately or unfortunately, that will not happen. Like we are talking internally, AI will not replace us, but humans who use AI will replace eventually a bunch of other people. So we have to be smart that in that phrase, it's really what will happen. It's increasing efficiency. So the idea here is that we have more efficient people working for us or working with us. And then people who used to do just DevOps can either do many more times the same work as DevOps or developing different careers now. They can be more, they can try to develop, be a developer, go down a little bit, or they can go up, become a manager, or interact more with the product or with marketing and other different areas because they have more capabilities. What the AI still have as still have a problem and will continue for some time is the ability to decontextualize information. Even the biggest AIs, even we, like when using AI, we are now creating a what's called a database of prompts, right? Because AI doesn't have the context, and then we have to tell AI every time that we're gonna talk to AI. It's like, we work at Webera and we are doing this, and then that. So contextualize web AI in what you do every time is pretty complex because it doesn't have it doesn't know you every time that you start to talk, and it doesn't have the capability also. I mean, at least for now, there's some models that I saw like last week that has a capability of 100,000 tokens, which is like 75,000 words, and like OpenAI and Google has the capabilities of like 4,000 to 8,000 tokens that are used for combined answer and question. So if you keep talking more than roughly 6,000 words, it's over, like between answer and questions and answers. So your chats will become like less relevant, like they're gonna start to lose or forget information when the chat is too long. So the context is lost. So humans still need for holding context, but increase efficiency. So we have the context, we have the big picture, we just pass to the AI the small part that we need, and then we have increased efficiency there. We hope there's more quality since we will have more tools that can provide us with code, and then we can just work on improving the code, not really writing a bunch of YAMLs. We joke internally that DevOps engineer is YAML engineer because we just keep writing YAMLs the entire day. So yeah, so that's something that we expect also. Maybe some other tools that are gonna, but I think the main importance here is agility or efficiency. So those are the main things that I think we expect from our DevOps teams to happen. They will be faster, and because they are faster, they can test more, and I hope that produce more quality. So we still need humans to do the contextualization of the information, and also with the context review that information is good or applicable. So, and also to debug, right? I mean, AI doesn't have access to things, that don't have intention to do things, so we still need us to contextualize and give us the right place, the right things to do. What do you think, Rodrigo?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I was watching a video the other day from Google, and they brought the exactly. I remember the sentence: "Those who know the code will still shine," because we'll need these people to review. We'll need those people to debug. We'll need these people to validate and to take responsibility, to be accountable as well. Because if the code is in production, well, you are the one responsible for reviewing it, and any issues that pop up will be your responsibility. You cannot say, "Oh, it was ChatGPT." Well, you were the one, behind that. You were the one who was reviewing. It's your responsibility. What I would expect, exactly what you said, more efficiency, faster code being pushed more rapidly to production, and increasing quality, because we would have more time to review, to test, and to validate what was created before pushing it live. Right? And how do you see, Joel, AI evolving in the near future? Like any two ideas or some stuff
In the
that you would
DevOps
like
context?
in the DevOps context? Yeah, something that you as an engineer, as someone who is like deeply involved in the field, something that you would like to see, or something like that.
I guess it's more like the continuation of the thing, like this contextualization thing. Like AI should learn about us. We don't have to teach every time that you go talk to it. That I'm Joe, that I work at Webera or Avanti or other of our business, and I want to talk about this specific thing, and then it doesn't have any context, and then I have to explain everything again. So that's really, in a way, is good because you get really good at doing what you do, because you've explained so many times that it was like, why am I still doing this? Maybe I should do something different in
You
a way
practice
that's
your
like more
elevator
productive.
pitch.
Yeah, exactly, every day. So, but that's why we are having a database of prompts now. But I guess this is an improvement that we need to, and also more ways to interact with, like not only a chat, but maybe I think we still need some improvements on like the voice robots and things like that. We need them to speak with us better. They're too dumb. Like the Google one is still way behind. Probably Apple will come with a new version of Siri that will speak something better, but I'm not sure. And then I guess we also have this context thing, right, where we are writing code and then it comes up with like a better how can I say, maybe AI should have not be try to be too generic, and sometimes just think about a subject or just be focused on that subject. That will be helpful. Sometimes it keeps giving random answers that you don't really want to talk about that subject at that point. But besides that, I think it's on the right path. And again, I think everyone has to learn to use the tools, has to learn to talk with the tools, be a prompt engineer, being not a prompt engineer, but like understand the limitations of the current versions of AI so they can be more contextualized. And yeah, I think that's it. What I expect for the near future.
I want to talk about the let's say a bad side of it. What are the potential? I know that everybody in every podcast that they talk about AI, they bring up the ethical questions. I don't want to bring this question like about like how ethical it is. I want to talk about real like threats that could be out there in terms of privacy. For example, do you worry about something like that, or do you have anything like that in your radar? Things the business owners or uh, people who are using AI for their product creation or DevOps or development that they should be aware of?
Yeah, so companies like Apple and Google and Amazon, they all ban tools like ChatGPT and others from their environment because they are afraid that OpenAI could use not only ChatGPT but could use their codes or their questions or their problems on benefit of them, right? OpenAI, Microsoft behind also because Microsoft kind of is using OpenAI a lot. So I guess that is a privacy concern that I have as a business owner. It's like, would the ideas that we develop internally at Webera be used kind of in somewhere else? And we don't really, on our case, we don't really care. Like, we are almost an open core company. We just care about the data for customers per se, but like things that we develop, we know things change too fast in DevOps and all those things that our own code will be obsolete in like a couple of days probably by some tool or some other technology that will come out and we'll have to rework some parts in the future. So it's not that we are in constant move, right? It's different than like not different even developer because right now there's even a joke how many days without a new JavaScript framework or something like that. There's you always have a new JavaScript framework or a Python framework or the language is kind of more stable even though there's new features every new version of Python or JavaScript not much, but yeah, there's features, but there's frameworks and things happening all the time. So code per se, I guess is more volatile than anything else. But I guess these companies like Apple that protects all their things that they are copying from others, they don't want to tell when they're gonna launch the new copy that they did from Samsung or Google, are more concerned. Like right now, I think they'll launch a new Oculus that probably some kind of copy or but they implement well, so well implemented copy from Oculus from Facebook, which is good and sad at the same time because they could be done before, but they have to wait someone else to break the thing like they did with smartphones. Anyway, so there is privacy concerns for sure for companies who wants to protect their data or their ideas from those big companies. And I assume that's something that business owners and business managers have to explain to their teams and in every level, not only DevOps, because they are using tools that might expose code that they consider intellectual property, which happen like I think codes, yeah, some the GitHub Copilot had some issues with that, with even posting names of people and things like that as part of the code. So I guess that's an important thing. That's a good question, Rodrigo. We have to ensure the privacy of our business as a way to protect our intellectual property. I bet, like an example, Google is kind of almost open core company, but they would. I don't think that there's only code that makes a company like Google or Amazon or Microsoft. I think Microsoft can do anything that Google does. It's just commercialization is different. Like you just sell the product is different. So I guess the problem might not be on your code, but on what your marketing people is asking on ChatGPT, or what your business or sales teams is doing in ChatGPT and other tools. I mean, it's all part of your brand, right? Everything that you put, every email, everything is there. So be aware of those things.
That's a very good point. I actually haven't thought of that perspective. Like, I could be training AI in a way with my, like, I don't know, campaign ideas, or with my sales strategy, with my sales pitch. Somehow it could be used by my
Yeah,
competitor.
because you're gonna ask something today. I was like, let's do a campaign about this, and then a week later you come like, oh, it didn't work, and then you start discussing with that. It's like, oh, maybe it didn't work because of this, and then that second one worked. And I was like, okay, so that worked, and then you keep training the AI with the information, what worked and then what not, which can 100% work for you. And then next week, someone on that company will use the same strategy and it doesn't work, and you don't know why. It was like, because when you launch your campaign, there was a context happening in the news that helped, or something else happened. So it's not 100% sure, but the AI starts to get context on what things will might happen. And the problem again, AI is not good with context, but the trained data can somehow give some context with like the large language module. Right? It has the trained data gives context, but not the instant replies. It's hard for it to understand the whole context. Yeah, maybe we should have our own language model with the idea, like with the whole description of web beta, so at least
Yeah,
we'll be able to get. And that's interesting. That's also happening. There's a lot of open source trained models now. It was interesting perspective that I think what sound alarm on Google first was OpenAI, but then now they are saying it's like we have to be better than a bunch of guys with a computer in the basement, because that is happening now. The open source models are doing great. I think Llama escaped from Facebook, or escaped with Llama from Facebook. That is a large language model that Facebook was training. People are using it and continue the training. So, and there's many others coming out. So you can now have a bunch of them uh, capable with data and things that even ChatGPT doesn't have. Of course, it will take a while to to do that, but imagine what's coming, right? What's coming with these people training their own models with specific knowledge. Yeah, with a large language model is a good thing. And like that, it should, like the idea of OpenAI do not belong to really anyone, any big company, was a good idea until they figure out that they can make money, so money can buy the freedom of the AI. But it should, like, at least we should know what data was used to train those AIs, and so we can contextualize the information and things like that. And we should now be using AI. We should, like we do internally, we use AI with against AI and put them to
yeah.
talk to figure it out, like what's the right answer, because like they are biased, they have a different set of data. It's many different things. Anyway.
I have to say that it's like amazing to be able to like be part of this, to be alive right now. I would say, I think we are on the verge of like a big shift in the way we see things. Things already changed drastically, like within the last 6 months. And the way we work, the way we build things and we create things, and I'm sure that things are going to change so much so soon. And if you are on social media, we see these people training these models in their basements to create like face recognition. I saw this guy the other day who created this model to help his son to stop sucking his thumb, something like that. So his son was like putting his,
Oh, I saw.
did you see that?
Yeah.
So every time his son
Yeah, I
put his
saw that. It
the
was
thumb in
awesome,
his
right?
mouth, the YouTube video would stop, would pause. So it was crazy, and that's what I want to see, how AI will help humans with the education system, and for us to become like, I don't know, more efficient and healthier. Maybe it's not going to kill us. Maybe it's going to help us live longer. Let's hope for that. Everybody's worried the AI is going to replace or kill us. Maybe it's not going to replace nor kill us. It's going to make us work smarter and live longer. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, this AI, this AI that's there is not gonna replace us. It's like the people who's gonna start using them, probably. So that's why we need to. It's a competitive advantage those days to use AI. Either it's like when the cloud started. Either you're in the cloud or you'll be disappear. Like, yeah, a bunch of people, companies disappeared. So like the cloud allowed to us to have more and more projects, and so still jobs are created. So AI the same. AI, a bunch of companies will disappear, the ones that doesn't use AI. So just go and use, just go and start, because AI will create a bunch of new opportunities. A bunch. That's my hope. I'm not fatalist, at least. So I hope that thing will go crazy. But yeah, so try to figure out the ethical, the privacy concerns that you have. Figure out a way to find a way to use AI even with your privacy concerns. I don't know. We use the open source AI in your basement, an open source model. Try to help people online to see to build, download the Llama and learn to use, but just use it. It's important to you to understand these concepts like embeddings, these limits on number of tokens, the chat interfaces, everything. So, all right, I don't think I have more here.
No, yeah, I finished my semi beer here as well, my Corona. Nothing against Corona, it's just like, anyway. Thank you so much, Joel. It was great again talking to you. We'll be here next week again with maybe a better beer on my end. A new topic, and let us know if you want to join, if you want anybody to be here. And it will be more than a pleasure to have you here participating with us. Thank you so much, Joel. See you next week.
Me too. Thank you. And one more thing. This is our last seasonal episode. The last, we're going to start numbering. I don't know if we're going to change the past, but the future will be sequential.
From now on, yeah. Thank you so much, Joe. See you next week.
Thank you. See you next week.